What? Start it now?
Start it now because silly over here, right as I like, okay. And I'm thinking, oh, I already got the cold open in my head. And she just starts going. I'm like, I haven't hit record yet. Are you taking the cold open?
I normally don't.
So go.
No, I was just saying to him, I was like, why is it I feel like we had 3 great days in D.C. We spent time together. We enjoyed it. We had so much fun. And then I just feel like I haven't seen you since I got back.
Yeah,
And we did record last week, but I still even feel like, when's the last time I really talked to you or saw you?
I was going to say, hi, how you doing, stranger? Haven't seen you in 6 days, a week.
It just feels...
It has been,
just feels like I just haven't... Life,
No.
I don't know. I mean, and I know everybody says this and we say it every time, but my gosh, it's like... Ugh.
Well, I mean, you have done Louisville... You have done Franklin, North Carolina, and the western southwest corner of the state, all in the past week alone. We're going to talk all about that, your adventures this past week. But yeah, it has been a week. That's for sure. It's been a week. I mean, last night's first time night we slept in bed together since last Thursday.
Yeah, and you were out when I got home.
Look,
it was 1:00 in the morning. I'm not giving you a hard time. It was 12:45.
Look, after last week when I was up till 4 a.m. after doing the podcast last week, and I stayed up till 4 a.m. and then did it again Thursday night, stayed up till 1 a.m. working, and it wasn't just working for me. I was working for my buddy Ed Heisted, covering for him down in Melbourne because of Milton. So yeah, it's been a week.
You don't like that shirt, do you?
You know what? I know what it is. I love the shirt design. It looks great. I don't wear cotton T-shirts anymore. I just not a cotton T-shirt fan anymore. Ever since I've gone to now, the regular standard cotton T-shirt that you get, it's economical and economy version. There's some higher blends and things like that now that I'm probably more used to. But yeah, this one I was just trying to get used to it.
It's tight too, though.
Well, it's a large, and I'm still stuck at 200 and can't get down. It's a little aggravating. Got to get on the course. I got to get on the run. Got to get out there and do a couple of lacrosse tournaments coming up. Yay! All right, we'll start the show because we got a lot to get to. It's the Sam
and M
podcast, episode number 42. Sam Walker, OBXnews.com, on your favorite podcast app, YouTube, Facebook, and of course, we always say it. Massage.
No, don't say it. I was lectured this weekend. Don't say it.
What, massage the algorithm?
Yeah, don't
manipulate the algorithm?
Nope. Just say like and share, please.
Like and share.
Stop using those words.
Okay. Share.
It was a conversation topic.
Okay. We're going to get into it then. Like and share. Follow, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that stuff. 5 stars. Give us all that stuff. CoinShot Catering Company is one of our corporate champions, along with Miles Carpet Cleaning, Harlow Photography, Caribbean Pools and Spas, CMIT Solutions, the Outer Banks, ToyotaTower.com, and we welcome back Sanctuary Vineyards as well to the program. Details on how we're going to do another ticket giveaway here soon coming up. We're going to announce that next week. We got to workshop out. We got to figure out how we're going to do the ticket giveaway. Probably do it the same way, but a little different. Anyway.
We just have to workshop it out, i.e. we have to see each other long enough
to figure it out.
To figure it out.
Well, next week we can, one of the things we can work on driving to Raleigh.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the shout outs of this week's show. Tell us some of the stuff you got to shout outs.
Actually, I don't really have, I don't have any shout outs today.
Okay.
I know.
I saw that Stephanie Sanderlin shared the podcast. Oh, yeah, the cookies thing. Do we have anybody that you owe cookies to? I think you do.
Oh, gosh.
You've been gone all week since the show posted.
I'll have to go back and look. If someone has cookies on there, I did not make cookies. I was going to make them for Amy was like when she shared and said it. She's like, you don't have to make me cookies. But she said, well, maybe for Kentucky. And I was going to make them. And then I was like, well, I don't know. Going through the airport, I don't know.
Food is different than liquids. You can take food
sometimes
through.
It is, and
yeah,
sometimes
but I guess
isn't.
it all depends on who you run into.
Yeah, so I did not make them. So I do owe my girlfriends some chocolate chip cookies.
There's dough in there. I did not. You know what? I didn't find the dough till yesterday when I was cleaning the refrigerator out. It's probably a good thing because I would have eaten it all probably.
So growing up,
Yes.
my friend Melanie Bruner,
Mm-hmm.
her mom, the first time I ever knew that you could make homemade chocolate chip cookies or whatever, I was at Melanie's house on a Sunday afternoon, and her mom was like, "Hey girls, you want to help me? We love to cook it in the kitchen." So she said, "You want to help me make chocolate chip cookies?" And we were like, "Yeah." And so we got out all the stuff to make it. And Miss Bruner looks at us and she says, "Girls, the first lesson in making chocolate chip cookies, and this is the most important lesson: always make 2 batches, one to eat raw and one to cook."
Ooh, good point.
That was the advice I took from her. That was good life advice.
That is good.
That's good life advice.
Yes.
Melanie and I also, that's where I honed in on the apple dumpling, making homemade apple dumplings. Melanie and I did that. We became pros at that. And my love of rhubarb came from the Brenner's household.
Yeah, that's not one I've ever been able to get into.
Oh, I love rhubarb. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. But yeah, Miss Barb and I were the only two who liked rhubarb. And she would make rhubarb pie, and I would always get
There's a new iPhone working out. Oh, sorry.
So anyway, but
Yeah.
I don't have any real shout outs.
All right, well, I'm going through
Go
looking
through.
at the show from last week. Very intriguing. Our numbers for a show that went an hour and 28 minutes?
No one watched it.
No, actually, pretty decent numbers compared to the week before, which was only 58 minutes.
Lord.
All right. Yeah, but I know what it is. It's all driven
was
by
me and
topics.
my stunning looks.
Yes, it is. It's driven by topics. A lot of that is driven by topics. Something that I'm still having to figure out. Okay, maybe I got it here. All right, I'm just going to shout out everybody who shared the show this week. Katrina Leary, Peggy Smith, who got a bot to comment, which is very freaky. See, there's something going on. I know what it is. It shows 7 shares, which on the Facebook video, but I can only see like 2. And I know part of it is the way people have their privacy settings set up that you can't see through it. So even though we can see I can see all the back end stuff of the videos and all that. So a lot of stuff I can't see. So we talk about that thing about the sharing. If you will do a little more than just share, make sure you don't just click share. Put a little something at the top. Like we talked about the cookie. Even if you just put the cookie emoji, we'll make you cookies. But it does actually help me tracking and help us find everybody who's been doing it, because we want to make sure we thank you for the shares. I mean, we say it here on the show all the time. We thank everybody. You know, as much as I talk about massaging the algorithm, we don't say thank you enough to everyone who shares, everyone who likes, everyone who learns about the show, and then starts listening, and then, things progress. I try to hit everybody. I mean, I've done that with our founders. I've sent at least a personal message, even if it's just thanks so much. It means a lot. I mean, maybe it's something as simple as that. I always want to do that. So we always want to say thanks to everybody who does follow instructions, but also who does support us just by simply sharing the show and liking it.
Yeah.
That's, we can't say it enough. It's just, I want to be able to personalize those. I don't want to just say thanks all y'all, because, I mean, we are a small operation. That's one thing about it. The numbers, as big as our numbers are on the site right now, and I'm just shocked by them some days. Thank y'all. With the podcast too, I'm sometimes surprised by who is sharing, but I want to see who's sharing, and I can't always see that. So, just let us know if you want to hit me up in the DM. Hey, I shared the show. That way I know for sure, because we have our usual our followers who do share it. We see it, but I want to be able to see more of it. So help us out with that. I want to say shout out to everyone in the town of Duck, because we're going to talk about the running stuff we did this weekend with the Hatterson Cancer Foundation and you running in Kentucky. Get that in the next segment. But I want to say shout out to everybody in the town of Duck for just a wonderful weekend with the Duck Jazz Festival. Kay Nickens, really. Betsy, who is also the events coordinator there. The work that they did and watching them run around like crazy, as much as I was running around through the crowd and shooting video and all that stuff, and only short time there, they had been doing that for 3 days, really for 4 days, and really all year. It's an 8-month process, those events. just a wonderful event. The weather couldn't have been more perfect. You had people everywhere stacked on top of each other, but everybody was having a great time. So please take the time to watch that video. It's Sights and Sounds from the 2024 Duck Jazz Festival. It's on all my socials. It's on the website at samwalkerobxnews.com. It's on the YouTube as well. Take your time and watch that because it's really pretty cool. I want to say also shout out to finally getting to meet face-to-face Mark Polymeropoulos, who we've had on as a podcast guest. He was one of our original first week founders. Mark has a much bigger reach than I do and ever will. Because, anyway, the man's 10 times smarter than I am. I can't wait. We're going to get to go dinner with him. If you're not familiar with who I'm talking about, he shows up on MSNBC on a regular basis talking about the Middle East. He is former CIA. He's been in the S. I won't use the word, but he's been in it deep in Afghanistan. He is a part-time resident of Duck. So we got to finally see each other at the Duck Jazz Festival. And he and his wife were all going to dinner, with your mom included, because I know I got his book and got it to her, and she loves it. But anyway, shout out to Mark. Thanks for all the support you've given us, and for the retweets on a regular basis to your huge audience. Can't say enough. I will name drop him more than anybody. I know I name drop a lot between Cantori and him, and never. It was funny getting all the comments about the never go full Cantori. That has become a thing now, apparently, after I did that last week. So anyway, please go watch that Duck Jazz Festival video, because it really was. That was one that was fun to put together, because it's something I talk about doing the content that I do, and because we have so many of us here now covering the news in the Outer Banks, we're all trying to find our own unique angle. I'm trying to be, I guess, the C-SPAN of the Outer Banks, which is I'm going to do an hour-long video, and maybe you won't watch it. Maybe I can take it and cut it up, and I'm doing that with the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse video. But I want to put you there without commentary, with throwing some things in, descriptors and things like that. But the sights and sounds and hearing things and seeing things without filter. Let's put it that way. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like that's something that nobody else is doing. So I can take those, turn them into these videos, even these short videos. We can take highlights. That's the cool thing about the AI now, and being able to utilize that for good rather than Skynet and trying to kill us all, is taking those things and then processing them down. I'm going to do that over the next couple of weeks. You're going to see some things drop here of pieces and parts from going out on the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse video, because I had this website called Opus Clip, and a lot of the stuff you see on TikTok and all, that's who's doing that. They do have people doing it. A lot of the content creators, it's not just them. They've got somebody who's doing that for them. Now I've found a way to do this, and I don't have to do all the captions and all the cool little emojis that pop up and everything. Punch it in, put it out there. So anyway, that's just something. There's a shout out. Okay. All right, let's thanks to corporate champions. First, of course, and I'm doing this, we're going to pause for a moment. You're going to do the first one because I want to take that audio and use it on the morning updates from here on out. So anyway, go ahead.
So many times in the past, the rest of the state has sent people, equipment, and other assistance to the Outer Banks in northeastern North Carolina following a devastating storm. Now it's our chance to return the favor. If you are looking to help the victims of Helene, a variety of groups around our area are continuing to collect items to be shipped to the mountains. But what is really needed now is monetary contributions. And you can make a donation through the Community Foundation of Western North Carolina Emergency and Disaster Response Fund. Contributions will help with immediate needs through nonprofits in the heart of the disaster area. Already over 5,000 people have made donations, and the Community Foundation of Western North Carolina has been able to award more than $2.5 million in immediate grants. But so much more will be needed in the weeks, months, and years of recovery ahead. The Community Foundation of Western North Carolina is headquartered in Nashville, can deploy funds quickly, and has a proven track record and extensive experience in disaster relief funding. Make your donations now at cfwnc.org. That's cfwnc.org.
All right, more of the show coming up Ready to dive into something new? Caribbean Pools and Spas, the official pool and spa service company of the Sam and M podcast, is already getting ready for the 2025 season. Caribbean Pools and Spas is looking for dedicated individuals who enjoy being outdoors and want to create unforgettable experiences for our customers. With outstanding pay, instant incentives, flexible weekly schedules, hands-on training, and full support from the great Caribbean Pools and Spas management team that will back you up. If you have a pool and spa at your home or your vacation rental, or are ready to add one this off-season, Caribbean Pools and Spas is already signing up customers for service next year. And they can design and install the custom pool and spa you've been dreaming of from Corolla to South Nags Head and everywhere in between. Call today, 252-480-2900. That's 252-480-2900. Or visit CaribbeanOBX.com. Whether you're an experienced pro or just starting out, Caribbean is the best pool and spa service company to work for and work with on the Outer Banks. I should know. I work for them too and love it. Join our team and make a splash with the official pool and spa service company of the Sam and M podcast, Caribbean Pools and Spas. All right.
And thanks to Harlow Photography, another season of school sports is here, and it's the perfect time to have Harlow Photography catch your athlete in action. Whether it's game day shots on the field or court, or a custom session that's literally lit on fire, Stephanie Harlow at Harlow Photography will capture memories that will last a lifetime. Or maybe you want to take advantage of the beautiful autumn scenery for a fall photo shoot with Stephanie. The holidays will be here before you know it, and Harlow Photography can help create the perfect family Christmas card that will be the envy of all your friends. Book your session today with Harlow Photography at sharlowphotography.com and like Stephanie Harlow photos on Facebook. And her granddaughter was looking adorable
I know.
mini today.
Oh,
all her
yes.
mini stuff.
Yes, those all look great. So, anyway, thank you, Stephanie. Seen some teasers of the new nighttime parade. Of course, that those of you not listening for the first time, not familiar with that music, that is Spectrum Magic, which was the previous nighttime parade at the Magic Kingdom. And apparently, I've seen some little teasers of this nighttime parade we're going to get. So, nothing I can really confirm, but anyway. All right, this past weekend was a running weekend for you and a running weekend for me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with you, because you had a flyaway for you this weekend.
I did. Check this out.
Yes, it is the medal.
This is my medal, and it's
Let's see. Let me put it up to the camera. It's
a bottle of bourbon.
Yep, Monk's Road, small batch.
They only had 43 barrels of that small batch. We got a shot at it at registration or bid pickup.
Yeah, Emily said, I'm not a big fan of bourbon.
Not
Not
kind of
straight
fan
bourbon.
of bourbon.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
straight bourbon.
No, I even tried a bourbon.
Was that
drink.
a strawberry lemonade type thing you did?
Yeah,
it didn't work? Okay. All right.
I am not a bourbon drinker. But let's see. We flew out on
Friday morning.
And
Which was an adventure to begin with because you waited too long. Right?
Well, getting my ticket. Yeah, I mean, but we were all on the same flight out. It was a flight back where we were separated.
You didn't post a lot of photos on this trip.
There's a whole album.
All right. Is it on Amy's page?
No, it's on mine. But somehow about me creating the album, it didn't do right. Everyone was like, I did post. There's a whole bunch, and there's an album.
Okay.
But somehow when Amy does it, you see it more.
Oh, there it is.
I don't know why.
You tagged everybody in it?
I made them all administrators.
You didn't tag them in it. Okay.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay. All right. Well,
All
I'm
right,
going to
so-
the photos.
So just a little side note. Every time we go to the Norfolk airport, we go to the top floor. Garage A, top floor. That way I know where my car is. Well, for some reason, I was not being intelligent this time, and I went to D and then was like, wait, this isn't right. Came down, and I don't know. I don't know where my brain was, but
Uh-huh.
I was not in the right headspace getting there. So anyway, get to the airport. I think our flight was at like, I don't know.
Yeah. So y'all were already
9:30.
starting with the mimosas there
We
at
did
the
have
bar.
mimosas at the bar before we flew.
Up there in Norfolk.
And we flew into
Philly.
Philly was where our layover was.
Yep.
And then we did eat there, and
Uh-huh.
then got to Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah, well,
Louisville.
I say Louisville.
Louisville, yeah.
And I was corrected multiple times. So on the race course, there was someone there that was just kind of directing. I was like, "Can I ask you how's the right way to say it?" And they said Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah, not Louis. I was saying I say it
Louisville.
wrong. So I apologize. But can we just talk about, first of all, Amy got us the most amazing Airbnb.
Okay.
It was absolutely beautiful. It was literally across the street, a half a block up from the Louisville Slugger Museum, and I think there's a distillery there. I mean, it was right downtown. It was called 713 on Main, West Main.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. It was all a theme of like Churchill Downs. Like it was all equestrian, but it was very high-end equestrian. It was gorgeous.
What is that? It's the Churchill Downs like sign, and you can see the Twin Spires, but it's like it's the Twin Spires logo, but it's like y'all are in an elevator or something.
Oh, that's the elevator to our Airbnb.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay,
we had
yeah.
to have a key to put in the elevator, turn the key that took
right.
us straight to our floor. I mean, it was high-end. It was very nice.
Okay.
Now, when you have like 10 people sharing the cost of it, we could afford it.
Right.
But like you and I to go, well, we wouldn't need that much space anyway.
No.
Anyway, the whole building was all different Airbnbs. It was gorgeous. And it looked right out over the water.
I like that. 90 with 13.1 miles plus 90 proof, one perfect race.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So anyway, so we get there Friday, we go down, walk down several blocks to get our bib pickup. Went to we were like right in Bourbon Distillery, like the whole area there. It was,
right,
you know.
Yeah, right.
The next morning, like literally walk out the door is the start. We had the Gold David behind us.
Okay.
Right across the street from us. Met up with our friend Peggy from Tennessee that we met in Washington State. Peggy and her sister, Katie. Katie couldn't be there, but Peggy, we got to see Peggy. Started the race. I knew that Stephanie was in a boot.
Oh, there's Gold David.
Yes.
Anatomically correct Gold David, it should be noted.
Yes. We were in, Stephanie was in a boot. I was not, but I had already told her I was going to walk with her. So to be very honest, I loved the race course. There were a lot of hills, but when you're walking it.
I like the whites. I like the shirt. So they've got shirts. For those of you just listening, you got to do the video on this show today. The Raise, RASE, with the hashtag 50 states, hashtag 50 half marathons. But in the middle, you've got not Raise, not 50 states, tag along, sometimes crew. Okay.
Yeah. That's Stephanie and Dover got that one.
Okay.
Anyway, so first of all, that city is a clean city. There, like sometimes when you do these races, the majority of the time, there's one section that you're kind of like, it's a little sketch, but there was not a part of this race that wasn't. It was beautiful. You went by the Slugger Field, I guess.
Yeah, that's where their minor league baseball team plays.
And then you went by the the soccer, like behind that is a soccer stadium.
Yeah, the MLS team plays there, yeah.
It was beautiful. Then you went down and into, I think it's called Cherokee Park. It was gorgeous. Beautiful big homes, like just these beautiful homes, old kind of, went through some old neighborhoods that were like just big, beautiful homes. The park was beautiful. There were lots of hills, but since I wasn't running it, it really wasn't bothering me. Like, I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, it took us 4 hours.
Right.
We were, 3 hours, 57 minutes. Poor Stephanie, she really struggled. Like, she kind of got in her head and was kind of like just mad at herself. I'm like, you did it in a boot. Like, how many people stopped her and said, I'm so impressed with you. I'm so impressed. That's awesome. You're doing it. I mean, she carried that boot the whole way, ended up getting blisters on the bottom of her feet.
Oh my gosh.
Afterwards, one of the best after parties ever. They had a big band. It was down, I guess, in what they call, I think it's called the Bourbon District. So it was like 3 or 4 blocks over from Main Street. But the street was closed. They had this big band, whole big stage set up when we got there because, of course, we were later because took 4 hours. But they were singing Sweet Caroline, and the whole crowd is just, Sweet Caroline. And then they were doing Shake It Off. And they had the pizza it's kind of pizza we like. It was really thin. Like, it was good pizza. They had, I don't understand. A lot of these races have soup. So they had chicken noodle soup.
Matt, that's an easy, quick, or say easy way to feed a mass number, cheaper way to feed a mass number of people. It's just you're not a soup thing, yeah.
So they had chicken soup.
Right.
I did not get, but Stacey did. She said it was good. They had beer from a microbrewery, I think, and then you could go upstairs. They had you could get 4 bourbon shots or whatever. I did not do the bourbon shots. We met with Amy's niece. Hazel lives there, so Hazel came and hung with us for the afternoon. Mm-hmm. Hazel probably will never want to be around 50-year-old women again. We were probably annoying as all get out. Went to a restaurant that we found that we were walking down the street, and it was $5 spritzers. So I had all my friends drinking Aperol spritzes for $5.
Oh, nice. Well done.
And Jelly Roll was playing that night. It was literally down the street. Jelly Roll was there.
Yeah.
And then got up on Sunday morning. There were 3 of us that our flight was out at, I think, 7:30. So we left we were picked up at 6:15. No, 5:15. I don't know. We were picked up early. Uber is wonderful though. We made the Uber arrangement the night before. Got there, did that. Our layover in Detroit there was an extra long hour delay there. Got off that flight. Came home, showered, and headed to drive 8 hours to the mountains of North Carolina.
Yeah. So, let's see. Do you want to do that now, or
you want to talk about your run?
Yeah. So, and mine won't be nearly as long and complex, only because. I mean,
you are the one telling the story.
Yeah, that's true.
I love you.
So Saturday was the 21st Hatteras Island Cancer Foundation 5K. Took place in the Kennekeet Shores neighborhood there in Avon. It benefits the Hatteras Island Community Foundation. And I guess, you know what? I can pull the video on that. Let me go up to YouTube. And it was fun because I haven't had a chance the 10 miler. Yes, Jim, thank you very much. Hi. So we, I really decided Friday to run this, because I was trying to decide, you're out of town. I still had pools to do. So it's not like I really could commit to do something. But I was like, oh, you know what? Friday, I was thinking about, 11 o'clock. I'd finished pools early because I didn't have a whole lot. I'm like, you know what? It's opening night for the Hurricanes. I could be in Raleigh by 5, go to the game. It's only $100 for standing room only.
Only $100.
Yeah, it was sold out, but, could have got a standing SRO for $100. Could have got a seat, pretty decent seat for $120. Then, drive up, do the game, drive home, get up, do pools on Saturday. But then I remember on the show, you said on the show you're going to try to go run the Hatteras Island Cancer Foundation 5K. So I was like, oh, all right, stop what you're doing, register right now. You're getting your butt up. You get up early enough. It's an 8 o'clock start. You can go do that. So I got up, got out on the road at 6. So got to get a really cool, and I figured out now I have her opening now for all her Sam & M's on the road because I think this is a great shot. It's the opening of that video. I'm gonna open all the videos now, all our Sam & M's on the road. With that, why am I getting? Oh, okay. There's the capture I want. Let me get it to theater mode, full screen mode. I'm going to open with this shot now because, I've got our theme music that we use on the podcast. So there you go. That's going to be the opening of all our video, all our on the roads.
Okay.
So got that, sunrise on Bass Night Bridge, going over Oregon Inlet. There's a boat going out. It's like a great, Sam. Yeah. Shut up. Well, I get to Avon. Think it's I'm letting it play because that it's an 8 o'clock start.
It's 9 o'clock.
It's a 9 o'clock start. So I'm in Avon at like 7:15, ready to go. I'm like, okay. Well, we got time. I got a couple places I need to get. Well, I think I realized it was a 9 o'clock start when I got to maybe Whalebone Junction, actually. So I was like, all right, well, let me run to Buxton, go get an Apple Ugly. And so I went to Orange Blossom, picked up some Apple Uglies, rode down to the lighthouse just to take a look. Nothing changed because, I mean, I've only been there like 2 weeks before. And then headed back up to the Sun Realty building there in Avon. And, got there, started seeing all our, our different friends. Donna, who is, of course, the publisher of the Island Free Press. My brain just shut down. Why is Donna's name not coming in my head? She's in the video. But anyway, got there, and it was a great little crowd. I mean, I say great little crowd. It's like 120 people were running it. They had a couple of kids that were doing bikes. They had a couple of walks. A couple of the younger kids were doing it. Now, of course, it benefits the Hatteras Island Cancer Foundation. I talk all about it in the video that we've got in the Sam and M on the road with no M. So anyway, they raised $18,500.
That's awesome.
That was just through the corporate sponsors, and you're seeing right now they're running. I just did a slow pan of all the corporate sponsors. They're on the back of the shirt. We get to learn about the shirt, which was Donna Peel, who passed away just a couple of days after last year's race. So they've now named it in her memory. She's one of the co-founders of the Hatteras Island Cancer Foundation. If you haven't watched the video, the Hatteras Island Cancer Foundation was founded about 20-some years ago, and it really, truly is to help people on Hatteras Island having to deal with the expenses of dealing with cancer treatment, which is the travel. And for so long, it's been traveling off the island and going to Duke, going to Chapel Hill, going to Greenville, going to Norfolk, going to Virginia Beach, wherever. Now that we have the Cancer Center that opened recently in Nags Head, that has really helped with that. With those expenses, it's knocked some of those expenses, but still there's expenses. So that's what the Hatteras Island Cancer Foundation. Anyway, the T-shirt, I'm wearing the T-shirt. You see up on the screen right now, that was a sunflower that Donna Peel painted, and they turned it into the logo for this year's race. So that was what we got. And it's a simple 5K through the neighborhood there, Kennekeet Shores. You get to run out to the Sound, so you get a good glimpse of the Sound on 2 of the walkways out there. But it wasn't anything too, but great crowd. I will say I'm proud of myself. I almost broke 11-minute miles.
I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
Almost. Really surprised considering I haven't really done any training, haven't done any running. That was cool. There's a buck that ran across the road in front of us. I started up front. If you saw just a moment ago in the video, I had started up front. Because, one, I wanted to have a little time, and I was, trying to see. Now, of course, me, 51, I think, all right, maybe I can win a division, 11 minutes. Oh, hell no. Not even close. I think the 50 to 59s, he finished third.
It's crazy.
It was like an 18.
I'm telling you.
He ran an 18 5K.
It's insane. So, it is insane what people do.
Anyway, so got to run that. Katie Morgan, who, of course, running for Dare County Commissioner. I didn't even realize it was her until, I was home and realized that was Katie who came up and said hey to me. Oh. Totally. There's something about it. And there was Joy Chris was there at the finish line from the Island Free Press and Donna as well. Donna Barnett. Donna's the publisher and Joy Chris is the editor. So, of course, they were going from there to go cover the Chickamaucomico 150th anniversary event. Don Bowers was there shooting photographs at the finish line. He got this photo of me carrying my phone across the finish line, of course, because, hey, I was doing it for a video. So didn't feel like carrying the gimbal. Still not comfortable carrying that gimbal yet. So anyway, got to do that. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's one I want to make sure we do every year now. If you don't have a race on that weekend, hopefully you can do that one as well. Because, it's just a quick 5K, but it's fun to be down there on the island. And anyway, that was it. That was how our race running with Sam on the road went over the weekend. All right, let's thank some more corporate champions right now. Let's see. I need to hit this, and I need to hit that.
Thanks to Miles Carpet Cleaning.
Oh, wait a minute. No, it's me.
I thought it was me.
You're
My
next. No. Miles gets the Scooby-Doo music.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yes. Thanks to CoinJock Catering Company. Looking to elevate your next event from ordinary to extraordinary? We'll look no further than CoinJock Catering Company. Whether it's a corporate luncheon, a wedding reception, a family reunion, holiday party, or any special occasion, CoinJock Catering Company will come to you with their on-site or drop-off catering, and you can hold your special event at their waterfront venue in CoinJock. Plus, there's the CoinJock Catering food trucks ready to serve their one-of-a-kind creations, like the redneck egg roll, the brisket nachos, bang bang shrimp, all for their mobile kitchen when they pop up throughout the area and at Moore's Farm Market in Barco. Weekends from 11 to 5:30. Of course, that's going to be winding down here soon. The season's going to be winding up there, but that means they're going to be out and about more. David's going to be hauling that truck around, and you want to jump into it. So if you want to book CoinJock Catering Company for your next event or just come to your business, just call Louie and David at 704-502-8070. That's 704-502-8070. Make sure you like their Facebook page because every weekend they post what the specials are. And they got some good stuff all the time on their Facebook page as well. That's CoinJock Catering Company. All right, now, I'll click that. Click that. Time to groove.
Thanks to Miles Carpet
Ooh.
Cleaning. It's spooky season, and those carpets, rugs, and upholstery have got you spooked with how scary they look. Now's the time to call Miles Carpet Cleaning and get it all looking and smelling fresh and new again. Serving Currituck and the Outer Banks, the Miles Carpet Cleaning family has been cleaning things up on both sides of the water for the last 8 years. Call now and get the Miles Carpet Cleaning Halloween special. 3 rooms and a hallway cleaned plus deodorizer for just $99. That's right. Get those carpets clean for just $99. Call now 252-207-6707 and find more great offers by following Miles Carpet Cleaning on Facebook. Robert Miles and his family will take care of you like you're one of the family. Forget the rest. Call the best. Miles Carpet Cleaning 252-207-6707.
All right, next week I'll get it so the graphics do the Scooby-Doo transition.
right,
Remember for
yeah.
Wayne's World? I'll get that next week, okay?
That's 252-207-6707.
All right. Thanks also to CMIT of the Outer Banks. And, of course, CMIT, when it comes to managing your business, it's important to have the right technology. That's why CMIT works to help businesses. Short for Completely Managed Information Technology, CMIT offers everything a business needs. Their services include tech support, computer and server security, cloud backup, secure Wi-Fi, business phones, and more. That cloud backup, that server, all that stuff, considering all the outages that have been going on of late, CMIT will help you out. They have this really cool thing. They can set up a mobile, basically essentially turn your business into a mobile hotspot. So if you have a wired internet service, fiber internet service through one of the providers locally and it drops out, it instantly goes to a cellular backup. Instantaneous. So you're never go offline.
How many people live across the street? That's like the 7th car that's going into that driveway.
I don't know. Dennis, he's got the whole family in town or something
I'm like
that.
every time I look, I'm like, oh, there's another one. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
it's a 4th car. Sorry.
With CMIT's help,
Squirrel.
I know, your technology will stay up and running. For more information, go to CMITOBX.com. All right, well, the second half of the travels of Sam,
and
without Sam, on the road. Was to do something that you had mentioned this almost immediately in just the hours after the story really started to come out of what had happened in Western North Carolina. You had said, and you'd even mentioned to me about it, about going out there and having the experience I've had with covering hurricanes for radio stations. And I was like, they're good. They've got it pretty well handled. And I got to, shout out to Brian Hall, who's the head of iHeartRadio in Asheville. They did 2 straight weeks Which I've done 1 week. I have not done the 2 weeks. And Jody and Moose and Scott Summers and all did the 2 weeks on the air straight. In the aftermath of Hurricane Isabel, we did the week long from Irene, and then multiple times. But you had said, I really think I need to just go ahead and step up and volunteer to go out there because they're going to need help. And you ended up doing that. But there's a lot of reasons why you had thought about it, because it's not just about going out there and filling prescriptions. There's a whole process that was going on. Can you talk about that part of it? Or
what do you?
Because you had said, there are pharmacies, there are stores that have been destroyed, and you have to have people go in and actually inventory the lost inventory and things like that. It's not just a matter of going out and reopening a pharmacy. There's a whole process that goes on. And this is just one little piece of this whole puzzle that this disaster has turned into.
Yes, and I really can't talk about that because I don't know the ins and outs. I just know the board of pharmacy, right when it happened, was asking for people to go. They were asking for people to go to help get do that paperwork, but not the paperwork, just kind of go through and help get those straight. And I wish I could give you all numbers. I don't know if it was 10 pharmacies, 5 pharmacies. I don't have a number for you. And I actually talked to Wallace Nelson at my board meeting last week, Wallace Nelson is on every board possible.
He's on the board of trustees.
He's like the
COA.
Board guy. He's on the COA board, the Perquimans County Commissioner board, pharmacy board. I think he's on one more board, and I think he's on a board through the boards. You know what I mean?
Right,
I think he's on. So I kind of had talked to him and said, "Hey, I think I'm going to go out." Walmart. Just to be clear, the board of pharmacy asked for help.
Yes,
and you had to give them 3 days at a time if you could.
Mm-hmm.
I think they also set up some satellite pharmacies, and things. And also at the hospital, they were kind of working through that. Then I don't know about any other chains, any other thing. Walmart set up relief for their stores to help their staff. What ended up really happening is their staff was overwhelmed and had stepped up and had really worked a lot of extra time. So they need a break.
Yeah.
So I went out to help them in Franklin, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed a technician and we went. I'll tell you, I've never felt so old as traveling with a 23-year-old. She kept me young. And we laughed and had a good time. And we got there and we worked our tails off, as did the staff that was there. Their volume went up, I was told, 30%.
Wow.
In the last 2 weeks. Franklin really wasn't hit badly.
Yeah.
But people were funneling the prescriptions into them. I believe there was a Walmart that was shut down. I think it's open now. It is working. It's running. Right. But for, I think, about a week, they were kind of funneling prescriptions that way. I understand Franklin didn't seem like that big of a town to me, but they have 3 Ingalls grocery stores.
Yes.
2 of which have a pharmacy in them, and 1 which is really tiny and doesn't. But the Ingalls pharmacy, from what I understand, they did not have power, or they couldn't fill prescriptions for days. So a lot of that was being funneled into them too. So we were just more there, it was like working a day at my
It was like vacation relief. Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't, I will be honest, for me and my technician, we were I understand that wasn't what they're used to. So I'm not being snarky when I say this or passive aggressive or anything. To me, it was just like you would say, it was just another day in Elizabeth City. It really was not.
You didn't notice it. You didn't have that feeling. And that's one thing. Franklin is down near Silva, so it's just west of Cullowhee, where Western Carolina University is.
Actually, the partner I worked with yesterday lives in Cullowhee and drives to the store.
Right, yeah. So think of it, I guess Franklin is about the same distance as us to Elizabeth City from Cullowhee.
Yep.
So, and they were on the southern end. Really, that area itself was right on the southern edge of where it went from. Yeah, it's what they'll see with the tropical system in terms of the rainfall and such. But it wasn't anything terribly unusual. wasn't to the level that just a few miles away.
And then the eye kind of moved, I think, at the end. They thought the
center
eye
of
might,
circulation,
it did change at the end.
it changed at the end, but they were on the southern end of it, and they're open. They're wanting people to come visit.
Yes.
They're encouraging people. You just got to go in a kind of a circuitous route, but you can go through Asheville to get there from here. So, but they were on the southern end of it, but not to the level of, like you said.
So the entire staff there, they and their families were fine. It was crazy. The first technician I met, she comes in that day. She lives in Georgia. I really had no idea how close Georgia was.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
People
like,
don't realize
and
North Carolina and Georgia do touch.
And a lot of the doctors were Georgia doctors.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't really realize that.
It's very similar to here.
It was well, and that's what Bree, my technician, and I were like, Georgia. That's just so weird that you're near another state. And then we were like, because she lives in Gates County, so she goes to Suffolk all the time, and we both were like, we go to Virginia more than we do North Carolina half the time. So like we get it, but we didn't get it. It's just weird.
Yes.
But we stayed at the hotel we stayed at right there in Franklin, a Hampton Suites. I keep saying there was several work trucks there.
Uh-huh.
I think they were using that as a good base to go and do. Bree met one morning. She met an older lady in the lobby having coffee, and they talked. She's like me. She's a talker.
Yeah.
The lady, they had lost their entire home, and then her husband had a stroke the week after.
Oh my gosh.
So like this lady, and Bree said, and I just told her we were here to help at the pharmacy, and that lady just kept saying thank you, you just don't know you're helping. And Bree was like, I didn't feel like I was doing anything. This poor lady's lost everything, and so I don't know that Bree actually has ever really been out too many places. So for her to have that opportunity to go and meet and see. Now we left Friday, Elizabeth City, about 4:30.
Yeah. And
you were right. It did take us down near like we went Douglas or something. Like it was completely a different way we went home yesterday.
Yeah, you went. I was tracking, or Emily had gotten a new phone, and she didn't have Find My Phone on, which I can track her phone just to see where she's at, and I like to do it when she's doing races because it's just like cool to see where she's at. But I was like, you're on 85. I said it. You're on 85, and then you're on 485. You're going to Charlotte. You're going to end up going through Forest, out that way, Forest Lincolnton and Forest City. It took you that way instead of going 40 to Asheville.
Right. Yeah. On Sunday night. And it was, that last 2 hours was rough. One, I was tired.
Yeah.
I'd been up since 4:30. Two, I don't have the best eyesight in the day, let alone at night, going around these mountains, and there's no lights.
Yeah, it's 2-lane roads, dark. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't 2-lane. They were
4-lane, but it was still dark. Yeah.
But it had up that I hate those cement barriers. So those things were up. So anyway, walls, I've never been so happy to get to a hotel or to a parking spot and park the car. But then yesterday on the way home, we left at 4 and made it through Asheville, made it down like how you and I came.
Yeah, down on 40 through Old. Now, stop you there because you didn't really say anything, and I know you're driving. You had called me, I think, when you were going through Asheville. You were in East Asheville, but could you really see?
Well, that's what I was just going to say.
Okay.
So we get past Swannanoa.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the trees kind of, pile down.
Yeah.
We get down to past Black Mountain, probably like another half hour to me south. Would it be south?
Yeah. Well, east. Yeah.
East. That's when we could see, you could see the riverbed, what had washed out. You could see we saw several homes that were just piles of wood. You could see where the water had carried, and there were piles of trees and stuff. You could see there's like a railroad track. You could see where it was completely washed out underneath, and a house on the other side. Like, I'm not sure where their driveway was, if it had anything to do with that, but you could see the railroad track. There's no way.
There's nothing. It's just rails
underneath it.
Yeah. There's no red bed.
And we saw that for about 30 miles. I mean, it was a good chunk of that we saw. And I kept saying to Bree, look at that. Look at I just wanted her to I was like, look at this is what we've seen on TV. Yeah. And granted, this is just.
You're seeing it at 70 miles an hour from the interstate.
And it's just the interstate.
It's just one road. I mean, you did drive by the landslide there on 40 on Old Fort Mountain. You drove
Yeah.
by that, which was at the truck stop. There's a stop on the top of Old Fort Mountain if you're going east, where the trucks have to stop. And they have signals, and they let them down, space them out that way. And that's where one of the big landslides was that closed 40 for amazingly only like 2.5 days. They had that all cleared up. But yeah, I mean.
So we did that, and seeing that was, you could, and we just discussed that that's not going to be anything that's probably not what we saw is not a priority, right? That's not going to be a priority of cleanup. So the odds are 6 months from now, I could go down that same, and we would see the same thing.
Right.
Like, but it was sad, not sad. I mean, it was sad to see, but it was
sobering.
Yes, that's very good. That's a very good way to put it. Being in Franklin, though, I just felt like everyone was very kind. I only had to get after one older gentleman who wanted to get kind of grumpy, and I said, "You do know that there's been a hurricane. You do know that, like, the power was out. There was a yesterday Verizon wasn't working up there. They were all on SOS. Those of us who had Apple or AT&T were fine.
Yeah,
they weren't." But then faxes weren't going through, and I guess I didn't realize this, but when they say, hey, our internet's up, it's really not that they got the whole tower up. They got up the temporary thing going.
Yeah, they had this.
So a lot of this is all temporary stuff, right?
Right.
So that's kind of frustrating. Things are going down, or on the doctor's office thinks they sent it because it looks like it did, but then something's gone down in the middle and it didn't get to us. But I really only had one man who was kind of grumpy, but we survived, and if it weren't 8 hours, I would go fill in at that store anytime. The male pharmacist I worked the first day, he actually is from South Carolina and is living in his camper there. His wife, their home and everything is still in South Carolina, but he worked for an independent, and they were getting ready to sell, and so he was licensed in both states, and he happened to know the district manager, and that's kind of how he ended up there. I don't think it's necessarily what he would love to do. I mean, he's like me. He's 52, and he's like, oh gosh, here I am. But I was like, oh, I love camping. He's like, yeah, it's great, but I don't really want to live it my whole life.
Yeah.
So I felt kind of bad for him, but he was nice, and we went to a local pub for dinner the one night, and the people were real nice. So I would highly suggest going to visit that area. It was beautiful, but they do want tourism. They want people, and they were trying to get people to, like you said, it's there's certain places you can go and certain you can't, but they've really worked hard to like open up the Blue Ridge Parkway and make those things known that you can drive them and do these things. And so,
there is a list there's a graphic circulating around. I'm not sure who produced it, but there's a pretty good graphic that has on the left side all the towns, the major towns, but all the towns everybody kind of knows that are open, and then on the right it says which ones are not. But again, you can get Nantahala was open the next day. I say this with all with tongue firmly in cheek. Swain County, Bryson City is open. All those places. Had a chance to talk to Kenneth Reese, who runs WataugaOnline.com, and we've been in touch the whole time, or at least he had to hike 2 miles from his house just to get a cell phone signal to let people know he was okay, and try to run his website because he had nothing else, no water, no power, no anything. He was hiking up to the Valley Crucis Center, which is going to turn into a temporary school up there in outside of Boone. There are places that are open that are going to be open, and as we have experienced in ourselves many times here on the Outer Banks, when something happens on Hatteras Island, invariably the rest of the world thinks the whole Outer Banks is shut down. And part of that's because they'll say, well, Highway 12 is closed. Well, it's closed. Highway 12 runs from Corolla to Ocracoke. And it's only a part of it, and the rest of the Outer Banks is wide open, all that stuff. We've gone through that many times over the years, trying to, the rest of the world not quite grasping the concept. Because, yes, was this devastation on a grand scale that's never been seen before? Yes. I mean, they show the high water mark. So the high water mark at the Mass General Store up in Valley Crucis, higher than anything they've ever put on the outside of the building. Just those things. They talked about the River Arts District is pretty much 90% of the River Arts District was destroyed in Asheville. We talked about it last week on the show, the last two shows, about our experience of being in Biltmore Village the week before, and then seeing the video of all the places we went that are gone. I mean, they're going to have to be gutted.
And truly, there are still 100 people missing.
And that's
and
I wanted to kind of
our friend has not been found.
Yeah.
And now her family is changing their shift to. I think she was on Good Morning America. The daughter was.
She was on CBS Evening News last night. I ran the audio.
Okay.
I ran the audio of the morning update this morning. May have been. I think she's probably done all the networks.
I thought there was a thing with Hoda or something.
That would be Today Show. Anyway, she's done all she's been on all the networks.
But they've now switched their efforts to, we just want to find her
recovery.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's and at this point they're only able to go after on the weekends and look, or they're going after, it's transition.
It's transition from public resources to private volunteers, because at this point they have to have those public folks going to things that are a more immediate or to different. The mission has changed.
Right.
We always talk about it goes. The Coast Guard talks about it goes from a rescue to a recovery, and that's when everybody says, "Why is the Coast Guard leaving when we have a situation here of a missing swimmer?" Because the Coast Guard job is to go find people and rescue people that they can rescue right then, and the next call could be any second.
Mm-hmm.
They have to have their assets ready.
Mm-hmm.
Recovery, it's not their job for recovery. They are rescue. And that's where we've transitioned, unfortunately. Like you said, over 100, at least 100 that have been reported, maybe more. I keep seeing the numbers on the number of fatalities. The state's officially reporting 95, and that's because of the way that they do things. That goes through the state coroner's office, the medical examiner's office, whereas the local authorities, they're at like 124, 125 as of our taping tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Then... No, we're not getting there. A lot of the rumor, a lot of the innuendo, a lot of the misinformation, a lot of the lies that are being told, and we are hearing it. We know people that are there who are living, not having power, lost their homes, all that stuff. And they are 180 degrees what this stories and all these lies that are being made up about what's happening there. Whether it's the 11 people died of froze to death last night. That was today. Ashe County's official Facebook page had to put something out. No, there were not 11 people that died last night. We're talking about, that's how insane this thing has gotten. That's not what's happening. Even people that I know that say, well, they haven't seen anything. Yeah, they have. You're using it for your own devices. Stop, don't take advantage of the disaster and the loss of life and the loss of economy, everything that's gone out there for that. So anyway, wow. We're plugging along. Yes, go ahead.
Well, we can save our last thing for next week after we've experienced it.
Okay. Right. Well, here's the thing. State Fair. All right. The last thing we were going to run through tonight, because the State Fair starts, this show dropping Thursday morning. State Fair starts Thursday morning, runs through this next Sunday. We're going to the State Fair on Tuesday with the grandkids, with Waylon and Harper. We're going to go up Monday.
We're so excited.
We
can't thank all their parents enough and everyone letting us take them.
So I have the list of the new foods this year. Now, it's 74 different items. We're not going to go through all 74 because, we're at 58 minutes right now. I'd love to. I was thinking we could thank some corporate champions and then do that. Do you want to do that or not? Or we can do the top 5, at least what Axios has chosen as the top 5.
Okay, let's just do the top 5.
Okay, so the State Fair starting again. I'm pretty sure Bass Knight's Lone Cedar will be there. Fork Yet Me Not will be there with their food truck. What's the place? There used to be a place in Columbia that was there. There's at least 3 or 4 locals. They're always there. So we know Bass Nights. We know we're going to get the bacon wrap scallops.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like bacon wrap scallops at 10 o'clock in the morning at the State Fair. Something special about that.
What time does the fair open? Does it open at 10?
So the State Fair opens every day. Now, again, Thursday it opens. Where is it? I had the list because there are certain hours you have to be there by a certain time. I want to say it opens at hours daily at 9. Now, Thursday it opens at noon. Otherwise, the other days, Friday on through, opens at 9. It closes. Gates close at midnight on weekends, 11 p.m. on weekdays, but you must be in by 9:45. So you can do it all day. We're not doing the all day.
Well, we are kind of, because I
Yeah.
really want to see Zoe, my partner's daughter,
Yes.
is showing her goats at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. So
All right,
I want
so
that
we're
to
doing
be,
that. Yeah, but we're not going to be there. We probably will get out of there before dark. You think?
Oh, yeah, by 5.
There is something
5:30.
special. Well, it's just like we talk about Disney is just different at night. There's something about the state fair that's different at night, because when the Midway lights up, it really is pretty cool.
Yeah,
But I don't think we'll make it to 7 o'clock in Sunset. We'll be on the road by then. Tickets are $10 to $13 for adults, and kids up to $7 for kids. Kids 5 and under get in free. We get the kids in for free, so we're good there.
yeah, but then we got to buy tickets for the rides.
Yeah, we do. It's too late to buy the tickets early. That ends. Oh no, it ends tomorrow. I guess I could go ahead and buy the tickets then.
Mhm.
All right. Well, it's Thursday on opening day, so I guess after we get done with recording the show, I'll do that. Clear bag. We need to think about this. Bring a clear bag to go through security
That's what
faster. Non-clear bags are allowed, but discouraged. Okay, you have the clear bag.
We have the clear bags from our 10-miler races.
Okay. Yep. All right. Cool. All right. We got that. Let's see. Parking. Don't. Oh yeah, that's one thing. If you are going, don't go on Hillsborough or Blue Ridge, because they're building that interchange now. They're still finishing up the construction on the belt line at Hillsborough Street, but that's where the original building is of the State Fairgrounds, where the vet school is over there. That whole area is torn up. So if you're going in, don't go on Hillsborough to get there. Just go to Carter Finley or go to Lenovo Center and park over there. You can park at the football. The best place to park, really the closest in the Carter Finley parking lots, is over by the football practice facility, NC State's indoor practice facility. That's where we parked last time we went. That's a good spot to park. You can do, like I said, you can go over to Lenovo Center, but you're going to walk a lot more, because you got to walk all the way around Carter Finley. It's just a little easier getting in and out over there. So those are the pro tips on that. I wish we could take the train. You can do the Charlotte to the fairgrounds for $54. That's
that'd
pretty
be
cool.
fun.
All right, so the food, some of the wackiest. There are 72 new foods this year, including deep fried baby back ribs, battered bologna fries, hot Cheetos funnel cake, and deep fried spaghetti.
None of that sounds
All right,
good.
so the 5 that Axios wrote about. These are the 5 bizarre but delicious foods at the 2024 State Fair. There's other stuff. Bacon ice cream, orange creamsicle slushy, candied Oreo cakesters. That's some of them. All right. So here's one. Strawberry lemonade donut.
That might be good.
Stop. Let me pop it up here so people can see it on the video presentation. All right. That's what it looks like.
Is that from the same place we got the donuts the
This
last time we were there?
is from Fluffy's Hand Cut Donuts.
I don't
Located
know.
near the Antique Farm Machinery in the Marketplace. I think so. It's a donut topped with tangy lemon frosting, strawberry lemonade crumbles. Ooh. Think of it like Nerds. Freeze-dried strawberry slices and gummy candy. You can add a squeeze. You can squeeze a strawberry lemonade pipette on the donut. So it's like a little glaze. Okay. That one's interesting. Looks like they just stuck a Mike and Ike on there is what it is. Okay. From Granny's Country Kitchen, battered bologna fries. Now, you do the fried bologna. I'm not a bologna fan, because you've done that. You've gotten a fried bologna sandwich at the State Fair, I do believe.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No. The only fried bologna I love is Grandma Jane's.
All right. It's loaded with chili cheese sauce, so I know you're done with that one. They have other country fried favorites like country fried steak. Okay. Fried country ham. Ooh, yeah, that could be me. Granny Cone from Magdalena's Chimney Cones. Now, this is near the Cotton Park Family Fun Zone, the fire safety show. Got to do that one for the kids. And the Casey's Clubhouse. Got to do that for the kids. Hungarian desserts, a chimney cake. Think of it as like a cream horn. Okay? Filled with a scoop of buttery cream cake, layered with maple bacon ice cream, topped with crunchies and whipped cream.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. That one looks pretty good. Then there's the deep fried ribs from Lawrence and Perry Barbecue.
Nope.
Baby back ribs, hand tossed in a variety of sauces, including barbecue sauce, lemon pepper, Carolina Gold, sweet chili,
Mm-mm.
Each flavored by an NC area code. Ooh, okay. But they're deep fried and then glazed. Think of it, think of it this way. It's a wing. A deep fried wing. But it's a baby back rib.
Mm-mm.
All right.
I'm not real big on fried. I'm not.
Which
big
is
on
crazy that you're going to
fried
go
meat.
to. You're going to go to the state fair and you don't like fried foods like that much. And that's nothing. I mean, come on. Deep fried Oreo. Honey butter moza dog from Golden K-Dog. If you're torn between ordering something savory or sweet, try this mozzarella cheese dog rolled in homemade batter with panko, then deep fried and drizzled with honey butter sauce. Nope. Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, that's.
So I guess I'll be doing the donut.
But there are 72 new foods. If you go to the State Fair website, you can find them there.
And Callan is having a coffee.
Howlin' Cow.
Howlin' Cow. Sorry.
Howling Cow.
Howling Cow.
But,
So-
there's nothing like right there on the screen like just the straight up traditional funnel cake.
Well, now, my favorite funnel cake we ever had was the Cheerwine one.
Cheerwine funnel cake was strong.
That was good.
There will be a red dog with chili and onions.
No. Mm-mm.
There will be a red dog and chili and onions. I will guarantee that. Anyway, there you go. So we're doing the state fair with the Grands on Tuesday. We will do an on the road from that. Now that I have a way to upload all the files from on the roads instantly while we're driving and then can edit it later, it saves me a lot of time. So it makes it much easier. So yes, we will have a Sam
And M
on the road from the state fair this year. Okay, showtime is winding down. Let us say thank you to some more of our corporate champions. And that includes Sanctuary Vineyards as they round out fall with a big curry shuck. All-you-can-eat oyster festival on Saturday, November 30th, Thanksgiving weekend. Nothing like oysters on Thanksgiving weekend. Enjoy all-you-can-eat steamed oysters and crabs, barbecue, sides, local wines, hay rides, live music, and more. You'll have 20 wines to sample, over 20. With your own signature curry shuck glass, a wide selection of local beers, plus live music. Tickets on sale now for $60 for adults, $30 for youth. Corporate 10-packs available for $500. Now keep listening. We're going to have details next week's show on how you can win tickets to the big curry shuck from the Sam
and M
podcast. Plus, join Sanctuary Vineyards. Don't want to forget about this. This is coming up on Sunday. This Sunday. It's Open Mic, The Jam. Open Mic Sundays, hosted by Adam Nixon. They're going to do this Sunday, the 20th, and then November 3rd from 2 to 5 p.m. They'll bring a guitar, a bass, and a hand drum. You just bring your talent. Come out for the music, stay for the fun. This Sunday from 2 to 5 at Sanctuary Vineyards. But again, the big curry shuck is on Thanksgiving weekend, Saturday, November 30th, 11:30 to 4:30 at Sanctuary Vineyards in Jarvisburg. Get your tickets now at sanctuaryvineyards.com.
How much are they?
$60.
Okay.
Because you couldn't hear over the music, could you, at all?
I could not.
The listeners won't even know.
I could not hear.
All right. That is going to be solved this week. The order is being placed tomorrow.
Oh, my. All right. Thanks to Toyota Tyler at toyotatyler.com. Are you ready to rise above the competition and lead with confidence, influence, and vision? Toyota Tyler offers one-on-one coaching to become the best version of yourself so that no matter what happens on the outside, you become unshakable on the inside. Toyota has been guiding Sam through the journey of creating Sam Walker OBX News, avoiding the pitfalls startups face, while keeping him focused on being the best reporter and entrepreneur that he can be. Whether you're a business person, a leader, or a rising leader, you're invited to have a conversation with Toyota to see if you're the type of person she can empower to go to the next level, whatever that looks like for you. Don't wait. Schedule your 30-minute clarity call today and learn more about Toyota at toyotatyler.com. That's TEUTATOWLER.com. Success starts with effective leadership, and that starts with Toyota's leadership coaching.
All right, and also want to remind you that not only can you now pay for your SamWalkerOBXNews.com founder membership on an annual basis, founders are getting a new feature exclusive to founders. Okay? Well, again, pay for your founder status on an annual basis. Get 10% off the monthly fee. It's just $129, and you're supporting journalism as unique as the Outer Banks. It reduces transaction fees, helps me create quality content faster, and guarantee your access for the next 12 months. For existing members, just go to the Manage Memberships tab on Patreon and look for SamWalkerOBXNews.com. For new members, you go to SamWalkerOBXNews.com and click the Join button. Now remember, the 10% discount as a founder with annual status is only available for a limited time at SamWalkerOBXNews.com. New feature that dropped. I started this a couple of weeks ago because, you know what, frankly, I miss being on the radio at times, but I don't miss it that much because of the time. But now founders get the morning update. So the morning update is the regular old radio newscast that nobody else does the way I do it around here. It's already gotten some people saying, would you willing to do it here, there, and everywhere? We'll see. The price is right. But it's the news. It's the way I do the news. It's the way you've heard it for years from me. Throw it in the sports because nobody's doing that out here. And, of course, the Weather Center forecast, too. All that delivered directly to you every weekday morning at 6 a.m. And then, of course, when I did weekends, too, when we had right after the hurricane. Anytime there's breaking stuff, we'll have it there as well.
Right.
So, anyway, that's an exclusive now for founders is the morning update at SamWalkerOBXNews.com. All right. Nope, we want to go for a run first. Let's go for a run.
The annual Dare to Scare 5K and Sweet Treat Fun Run is on Saturday, October 26th. The 5K kicks off at 8 a.m. at the Coastal Studies Institute in Wanchese. Runs through trails and local residential roads before ending at the Virginia S. Tillett Community Center in Manio. The Sweet Treat Fun Run begins at 9 a.m. at the Virginia S. Tillett Community Center in Manio. You can go to darenc.gov/5K.
The OBX Running Company, they got the Tipsy Turkey 1 mile beer run. That's on Wednesday, November 27th. Starts at 11 a.m. at the Outer Banks Brewing Station. It's a Thanksgiving-themed beer mile. Adults 21 and over, only social run. You wear your holiday finest. It's a costume contest judging for the most creative. You know, I could go out there with the Les Nessman. You get a 10-ounce beverage. You run a quarter mile, you get a 10-ounce beverage. You run a quarter mile, you get a 10-ounce beverage. You run a quarter mile, you get a 10-ounce beverage. That's how it works. It's $45. And they've got the Thanksgiving Day 5K and 1 miler in Corolla, which we did last year. It's at the Whalehead Club. On Thanksgiving Day, the fun run starts at 7:55 a.m. and then the 5K starts at 8:15. There is a field limit. It's $40 for adults. Active service members and veterans get $35. Details on both of those events, theobxrunningcompany.com.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sneezing fit. Outer Banks Sporting Events, another round 25K, Saturday, October 19th.
This Saturday.
Jockeys Ridge State Park.
Yep.
Town Bank Outer Banks Half Marathon.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness. I guess I'm allergic to something.
Jeez.
8K, 5K, and Fun Run, November 8th through the 10th.
Yeah.
Get the details at obxse.com.
All right. Bering Island Group, they've got the second annual Holiday Hustle 5K on Saturday, December 7th. It's a twilight 5K at the Fort Raleigh National Historic Site on the north end of Roanoke Island and finishes at the Elizabethan Gardens with a post-race party inside the Gardens Winter Lights display. Registration and details at barrierislandgroup.com. And I wanted to pass along our condolences to the executive director at the Elizabethan Gardens. She passed away over the weekend. And got the story up at SamWalkerOBXNews.com. And I really, it's Teresa Armendariz. And Teresa has been very active in our nonprofits community for many years. She was previously director at the Beach Food Pantry. She used to serve as director at Port Discover in downtown Elizabeth City. Her husband is Larry Warner, who is director of the North Carolina Aquarium. On Roanoke Island. She was previously, I didn't realize this, she was a juvenile public defender in Phoenix before they moved out here in 2010. But Larry and all the family, and I want to just pass along our deepest sympathies to you on Teresa's passing over the weekend. You want to wrap it up with the 5K, the Coast Guard
Marathon, 5th Annual Coast Guard Marathon in Elizabeth City, coming up March 7th through the 9th, 2025. Includes a full marathon, half marathon, 5K, and kids 1K fun run. Plus 5K half, 5K full, junior 1K 5K, Semper Paratus challenges, and virtual options too. Coast Guard 5Ks, Charleston, Boston, Long Beach, California, Alameda, California, Kodiak, Alaska, Honolulu, Guam, and Bahrain. That will take place between January and May. Get all of that info at coastguardmarathon.com.
All right, some of the stuff we got going on at samwalkerobxnews.com. Of course, every Saturday in October, the Island Farm in Manio has the 13th annual Pumpkin Patch event. That's going on this Saturday and next Saturday. Wow, October's almost done. From 9 a.m. until 3 p.m.
Get ready for 13 days and nights of spooky season fun.
Ooh.
As the downtown Manio Social District is transformed into Halloween Island, October 19th through the 31st. Crawl through the decorated downtown social district and visit the 13 themed restaurants, bars, venues, who are excited to welcome you with specialty food and drink menus to suit the occasion. Other downtown businesses will be open late, and t-shirt sales and other fundraisers will be held to benefit the Community Foundation of Western North Carolina Helene Relief Effort.
This Saturday, the 19th, it is the Outer Banks Seafood Festival. I've got a story up at samwalkerobxnews.com detailing some of the money, where some of this money goes that they raise at the festival, and how it goes to the Outer Banks Community Foundation. Really cool. This year's event is a tribute to Captain Charlie Griffin, and his mate Chad Dunn, and Charlie's dog Layla. The T-shirt has got them on. It's really cool how they did that. And again, it's this weekend at the Soundside in Nags Head event site. All the details at OuterBanksSeafoodFestival.com.
First Flight High School's chorus director John Buford, who just finished a year-long battle with cancer, is inviting fellow cancer survivors to join him for a special concert on October 22nd at 6 p.m. at First Flight High School. Choristers from both First Flight High and middle schools will join together on stage for the performance in a concert titled Harmonies of Hope. It's about celebrating life, strength, and resilience.
Registration is currently open for the 2024 Wings Over Water Wildlife Festival. That's going to be on October 22nd through 27th, so next week. A special encore weekend on December 6th through 8th. The main session in October features more than 60 birding, paddling, art, natural history, and photography programs. Details at wingsoverwater.org.
The 11th annual Outer Banks Halloween Parade of Costumes returns to Aviation Park in Kill Devil Hills on Sunday, October 27th.
Coming up on Wednesday, October 30th, brave explorers are invited to experience a myth-filled and scary ride through the community's favorite Hatteras Island museums. The Graveyard of the Atlantic Museum, the Chickamaucomico Life-Saving Station, the Frisco Native American Museum, and the Lost Colony Museum will be sharing tales full of mystery, shivers, and chills. Ooh, with their first ever and collaborative Halloween mystery tour. Now, this is a daytime event, but story up right now at samwalkerobxnews.com.
Blackbeard's Pirate Jamboree invades Ocracoke Island on November 1st through 2nd.
And experience an intimate evening of storytelling through song by award-winning musicians at the Outer Banks Veterans Concert. That's going to be on Saturday, November 9th at 7 o'clock at the Pioneer Theater in downtown Manio.
Currituck Bowls and Barbecue, Saturday, November 9th at the Currituck County Rural Center in Powell's Point. People's Choice Barbecue competition starts at noon. Tickets are $10, limited available online and at the event. The rodeo starts at 3 but is sold out. Visit currituck.com
for all the details. All right. Well, let's see. Here's a Claritin. You want a Claritin?
Oh, my gosh, no, but...
Yeah, what was going on there? The whole last segment here, you've been doing a bit of...
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for sticking it out with us, everybody, on this edition of the Sam
NM
podcast. It's brought to you by CoinJock Catering Company, Miles Carpet Cleaning, Harlow Photography, Caribbean Pools and Spas, CMIT Solutions of the Outer Banks, ToyotaTower.com, and Sanctuary Vineyards. Make sure you like and share. Get those cookies by liking and sharing. And tag those cookies in there as well. Follow, subscribe, and hit the bell. All those good stuff. You find us on your favorite podcast app, on YouTube and Facebook. So, the video presentation, I know we get a lot of that. It is video heavy, but those of you listening on the audio, well, go find it on the YouTube. You can at least catch up. You can see the highlights. Give us those 5 stars. Make sure to interact with us, too. We know we love to give you the shout-outs. Give us your thoughts and topics for future episodes. A great way to do that is an email, samwalkerobxnews@gmail.com, or DMs on the socials, too, work very well. But like I said, those tags, when you're sharing, tag the cookies. Get that cookie emoji in there. You get free cookies, too. Okay? All right. Next week, we will have tickets on details on how you can win the tickets for the big curry shuck. We'll wrap up the state fair trip with the Grands, and maybe Emily will not be sneezing and coughing and hacking all over the microphone. It's going to have to be cleaned up now.
Yes. All right, y'all. Have a good week.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah. See you next week.
We'll see you now. I'll talk to you next week. Literally. That's how it probably is going to go.
I know. I got to work the next 4 days.
All right. We will see you next time on the Sam
NM
podcast.
Bye.
Bye.